This is exactly right.
When a charming neurosurgeon rode into Frontier Town selling a persona of confidence and care, patients trusted him.
He wore cowboy boots in the operating room and became sought after by patients.
He promised to heal them. Instead, he left a trail of broken bodies.
This is a story of greed, betrayal, and a fight for justice.
Listen to Dr. Death, the Cowboy, wherever you get your podcasts, or binge the entire series right now, only with Audible. Goodbye. Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable.
From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra.
Each design moves with you from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold. Goodbye.
Summer is for adventures, road trips, and adding a whole lot of miles to your car.
That's why it's worth stopping at Valvoline Instant Oil Change first.
Their trained techs help you get road trip ready with an oil change and an 18-point maintenance check included with every oil change, checking your tire pressure, wipers, lights, and more.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change techs complete over 270 hours of training, so your car's in capable hands.
Best part? You can stay in your car and you're in and out in about 15 minutes.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Change wisely.
Goodbye. Want a podcast?
Hey, let's podcast.
Hello, welcome to My Favorite Murder.
That's Karen.
That's Georgia.
Hi. I'm in my element right now. I'm double fisting petting cats. And it's my dream.
That's how Georgia parties.
Yeah. We just got back from the last weekend of our first tour.
That's right. Thank you, Washington, D.C. Thank you, Baltimore. Thank you, Philly.
Dude.
/Glenside, Pennsylvania. We had the best weekend. We met so many great people.
So many incredible people.
They sent us home with so many lovely presents.
Oh my God. My suitcase was crammed.
And we just gave Stephen many of the presents that you gave us to give him.
Yeah. After we picked what we wanted out of his gifts.
Yes. There's lots of stuff that we didn't tell him about that we're just keeping.
He'll never know.
Little mustache things that we get to have. But we did want to mention, it was very exciting because this time it felt like, and maybe it was the area that we were in.
Oh yeah, Washington, yeah.
We met a forensic analyst. We met a criminal defense attorney.
Who listened to the show, not just on the street.
Right, yes. They came to the show. Yeah. They bought VIP tickets. They had a hi, how are you? Take a picture with us. And it was very exciting to be meeting actual people. What was that?
I don't know, my microphone.
Oh my God. George's microphone's leaving. They were people who are in the business of stopping crime who listened to this podcast, which we were very, very honored by. And thank you all for what you do and for listening. But the most exciting part, I'll talk slowly so that while Stephen fixes George's microphone, she can still participate.
Don't tell all the story without me.
Stephen, hurry!
He did
Steven. Wow, that was fast. The most exciting I'll say for me, I think for you too.
Oh, I started crying.
When we were in Baltimore, the Ram's Head, thank you everybody, the Ram's Head, that was a really cool, like rock and roll venue.
Totally.
It was so hilarious.
So weird. Like you could smell the sticky beer from decades past.
Yeah, the Pixies were playing the night after us, which we were freaking out about.
Yeah.
We kept saying we wanted to leave something for Kim Deal somewhere in the dressing room. But anyway, these two guys walk up in the meet and greet and flip out an ID, their federal ID, and it turned out 2 FBI agents were at the show.
And he knew to flip his ID open because we'd lose our shit. So he walks towards us like in the coppiest cop manner.
I think he was like 6'6".
Listen.
Both of them were.
Both of them were incredibly handsome.
They were 2 hot FBI agents with big smiles on their faces doing a bit for us.
And they looked like FBI agents, young ones but were cool.
Yes.
Not that, you know what I mean?
Yes. Well, no, they were great. And they were super funny because they immediately were doing a bit about the girl that did a hometown. And Georgia, this was my favorite part is I was immediately just like, I had no idea what to say. And I was completely like starstruck where I'm like, I looked at this guy's ID, but
and
Georgia,
I was like, this is fake.
Yells across me and goes, move your finger, your finger's covering your face. And it was just the way he flipped open his like wallet looking ID, FBI agent ID. His finger was over his own face, which is like a trick people use when they're trying to trick you into like getting into your car.
Totally.
He started laughing because she moved his finger. And of course it was him.
I did not believe him. And I was like, that's a fucking age old. Everyone knows that trick.
And then it turns out it was not a trick. They were two real deal FBI agents who worked for the anti-terrorism squad. I don't know if that's a thing. I doubt it's a squad.
Gang, right? The anti-terrorism gang. And then the reason the other guy was with him was because the first guy who covered his face was supposed to go with his girlfriend or fiance. But she got deployed to Afghanistan.
Yes.
I think she was the forensic pathologist.
Maybe. Yeah, she definitely worked in the biz as well, but she was also in the military because she got deployed to, was it Afghanistan?
It was totally Afghanistan.
And we were just like, you're the three of you are rock stars.
You're living a life very different from ours.
And also we talk about what you do all the time as if we're experts. I mean, now you're here as like audience members.
Yeah.
But you're actually the experts. It was the coolest experience.
I asked so many of the experts who were like, I do this. I asked most of them, are you mad at us?
Yeah. And it turns out none of them are mad at us.
Oh, and then the cop. No, wait. Was that Austin? The cop with the eyeball killer?
That was.
Oh, yeah.
That was at Moon
DC.
Tower, right? It was Moon Tower.
No, I think it was DC with the pregnant chick.
No, that was.
No. Are you sure? I think it was DC because they were having a cop convention. Remember?
You're exactly right. And that's why he was there.
So there was the guy with the eyeball killer that we did long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know how many episodes we've recorded. I'm like, it's number 10, right? He wanted to meet us. He like tweeted that he was in town for a cop convention, and I was like, oh God, are you mad at us? Or mad at me because I have no idea what I said about you in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But his daughter-in-law came in pregnant and was like, no, he thinks you're great. Here's a signed copy of his book.
But I'm sorry. All of that is right, except it wasn't the pregnant girl. That was separate.
There was two pregnant girls.
There were three girls.
Shit.
The eyeball killers, wasn't it his stepdaughter?
Yeah, something like that.
And it was her and her two friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
it doesn't matter. Whatever.
It doesn't matter at all, except for that we have these great experiences with people for 45 seconds and then another experience happens right after. It's very hard to keep them all track.
Yeah.
But
we like them all.
The bummer was he was there and he waiting outside, but we had no ability. Like it was the end and we didn't have the ability to get him inside.
I feel like someday soon we're going to post the Philly episode. It was the last episode and it was sweet as fuck. I thought some girl that I should be able to name recorded the "Stay Sexy, Don't Get Murder" part that the crowd yells with us.
Uh-huh.
And I put it on Instagram and it's just so sweet. It's like sweet as in like sweet. It's just like this great moment.
Oh, cool.
That I love.
Cool.
I love when we do that at the end. It's so much fun.
It's very fun. And all three shows were great. And all three audiences were like, one was better than the next. They were just like, they were all so great and fun and excited. And thank you all so, so much for being there.
And yes, stop asking us on Twitter. We're going to come to your town.
Yeah, we will.
There's a planned fall tour.
Yeah, we just want to keep doing it.
Yeah, so. Listen. So saying the word Australia, and that's all I'm saying.
That's right. And say the word New Zealand, because that's also in there too.
And New Zealand. And yes, we're coming to your California. No, your state.
We're coming to your personal California.
Anyways.
It's what your California is like. This is my California, but maybe Texas is your California.
Right.
Yeah.
Like what's your California?
What's your California? We also thank you for sharing the news that Ian Brady is dead. That was your murder.
That's the Moore's murder.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead. Who cares? He was never going to get out. I mean, whatever. He died. Okay.
He died.
I mean, it's great because he's a murderer and he deserves to be dead, but okay.
Now he is. But the thing a lot of people were very excited about is the very recent casting of Zac Efron to play the part of Ted Bundy.
They were excited, but some weren't. Some, you guys seem to want to know what our opinion was because you had said, who was the guy that you said should play him? Never mind. But
no recollection, even though I remember us talking about it.
Okay.
I'll be able to remember it.
Steven.
Steven's like, I don't listen to this. What do you think of it?
I fucking dig it. Yeah, at first I was like, huh? But then I remembered, he does these goofy movies, but he's also done some cool shit and he's a good actor. Seems like a cool dude. And then someone put a photo side by side of like a young Ted Bundy and like a photo that kind of matched of Zac Efron. And it was just exactly what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So if he can act it, and it'll be legit.
And I tell you now, he can act it because I may have been keeping this to myself up until this point, although I can't imagine why, because I love the movie.
Did you date
17
him?
Again? Yes. He was my lover in the mid 90s when he was 12. The movie 17 Again, I believe it's called, with him and Tom Lennon, where he plays his own father.
Yeah.
He is so brilliant in it.
That must be the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, it's such good acting. It's a Disney movie and it's a body switch. I'm young again.
Yeah.
And it's basically Zac Efron doing an impression of Matthew Perry.
Right.
And it is so fucking great.
Yeah.
My sister made me watch it for the first time. She's like, you have to watch it so you'll like it. And I have to trust her when she says that because she's always right. And it's just masterful acting by him. He doesn't get enough credit for what a good actor he is. And he tries to do interesting stuff.
Yeah.
My only thing was, April texted me, my friend April Richardson of Go Bayside podcast fame. She texted me, it was like, I know I'm the 1 millionth person to tell you this, but did you know Zac Efron? And she's like, and what do you think? And I said, you're the millionth person that's asked, but you're the first person I'm answering. And I said, I believe in him 1000%. He just has to beef down because he's too cut right now.
Yeah. It's that like 70s cut, which is like super skinny, but also muscular, but there's no like
sinewy.
Sinewy. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely has to do that, but
he's like a bike rider as opposed to a weightlifter.
I'm just excited to see it. I mean, there's not really a good one at all.
There's the Mark Harmon one, which is fine, but it's like a made for TV movie.
Right.
So it's not like
gruesome and realistic.
Right. It's not scholastic.
It's not scholastic. It's not realistic. It's not bombastic. It's none of those things.
I think it'll be good. Also because I think people are just like, let's ride this fucking true crime wave as hard as we can.
Fuck
so
yeah.
People are seeing that there's so much interest. They've just combined two great things, which is like what a girl's like, true crime and Zac Efron.
Totally.
Let's do this thing.
Speaking of, listen, next week we're going to talk about the Dee Dee Blanchard and Gypsy Rose documentary that's on HBO. So go watch it. And then we're going to watch it and talk about it. But it's definitely something we want to chat with you about.
Yes. I can't wait to see it.
It's called Mommy, Dearest and Dead.
Yes.
So go to HBO. It's on HBO.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Pretty sure.
Go watch that.
Yeah.
Go watch yourself.
Bunch of people have watched it and asked us about it. Georgia did her homework. I did not. So I
didn't want to out you.
Thank you.
Did you hear me say that we're going to watch it?
Yes, that's called teamwork and I appreciate it. But
Karen didn't do it and I did it.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God, what a cunt I would be.
Was there something in there that really wanted to do that though?
No, I was like, how do I get around saying this?
Well, that was masterful. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I pretend that I hadn't either.
Thank you. You took that hit.
Steven, did you watch it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Steven.
All right. So
get on it.
It is on HBO though.
Okay, good.
2 against 1. Mimi, Elvis?
It's always 2 against 1 in this setup. No, but I can't wait because I believe Jamie Lee did it at our our live New York episode.
Which we never aired, right?
Did we not?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Oh, we did.
We did, yeah.
God,
okay, good. Okay.
So glad Steven's here to
to tell us what our life is.
Yeah.
But on that particular story, no information is enough. So the fact that someone has put together an actual documentary and has her Gypsy today talking.
Oh my God. There's a prison interview. And the whole time I was just like, do I believe her? You cannot tell. And then you're like, is she crying tears or is she just sounding like and there's so much shit. And then I didn't know the background of the mom. So that was really fucking interesting. That's in there as well.
Oh my God.
And
I can't wait.
I know I very much liked it.
And the exciting part is, which a bunch of people told us and we discovered, the director, I don't have her name handy, is a murderino.
Right.
Who somebody posted a thing that said, look, when this famous documentary filmmaker just shows up on our Facebook page.
Like commenting on it. Like, thanks, I'm glad you guys liked it.
Yeah. So cool.
It's so cool. So we'll tell you guys who it is next week. We'll write it down.
We'll have a whole prepared thing.
We'll talk.
Imagine.
We'll chat. I wanted to say, so in the vein of, we love it when just suddenly people like come out of the woodwork that you would never know have a murder. And then they tell you about it. Like your uncle did that, right? Like, oh, I caught the fucking.
Oh yeah. My cousin Marty, is the one that lifted the Richard Ramirez's fingerprints at the last breaking and entering in San Francisco where they figured out who the Night Stalker was.
And then you were like, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, why would I tell you that ever? So I have a similar one. My cousin Nancy, who's like pretty significantly older than me, I think I don't know. And she's just like a normal, really lovely, normal person and married with kids. She teaches old people how to use the internet. Like she's just a really lovely woman. So she then emailed me.
She's very patient.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? She emailed me and says, hi, Georgia. I listened to one of my favorite murder podcasts today. One of the questions was something about someone you knew a murderer, blah, 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 blah. Well, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I worked at the Peterson Publishing House in West Hollywood. One of the guys in the photo lab killed one of the models on a shoot. I knew him when I worked there, but the murder was years after I left the company, but I was the editorial assistant of one of the car magazines, and he'd come by and hand me the photos. He never smiled, but looked me directly in the eye. It was creepy. And then I knew anyway, and add another relative who knows a murderer. Love Nancy. And then I was like, I think this is the one I know, which is such an interesting story. It's Charles Rathbun.
Yes.
Who killed Linda Sobek in the fucking desert, right? And he said, oh, I hit her with my car on accident when I was showing her some cool moves and I buried her body because I got scared. And it's like, no, you fucking didn't.
No.
And then like they found another one of his bodies close by that as well.
Yeah. Was it in the desert? Was it in Angeles National Forest?
Yeah. But I think it was like a open thing. I don't know. Open plain type of thing.
Right. It was just far away. Like he would basically get them to come and go on quote unquote shoots.
And maybe that was just in my imagination. I like pictured it as a desert. So
yeah,
that's what it looks like. No, it doesn't.
It was what we know is it was far away.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know I'm pretty sure though that was a city confidential for Los Angeles about the death of Linda Sobek.
Yes. And I told her, I messaged her back and was like, I've fucking gone into a rural area with a guy who wanted to take photos of me when I was younger and didn't get murdered.
Yeah.
And so that murder is just, I know what it's like to suddenly be like, oh, fuck. This was a mistake and nobody knows I'm here.
Yes. Yeah. So scary.
And I don't know this. I thought I kind of knew this person. I don't know him at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you're young, you think you're friends with everybody.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, my buddy, that's a photographer or whatever, where it's like, where's he from? Does he have any siblings? How much do you know this person?
And you're easily charmed. You don't bring anyone with you.
Right. You do it by their dictate of like, this is how we're going to do it. This is where we're going to go.
Because you don't know to say, fuck no.
Well, also you're so complimented by the fact that someone's like, I think that you are a model.
Right. Which I admit to that completely.
Of course.
I was
why
so
wouldn't
flattered.
you?
Yeah.
That's a big part of all of that. And then the shame of like, oh, how dare you think that? I mean, it's the perfect play.
Yeah.
They have you coming and going.
Listen, don't do it, you guys. Unless you're at a well-populated place and you meet them there, don't get in the car with them.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And
there was a guy that was doing this and he was actually going up to women at the Century City Mall.
Yes.
Remember that one? And he was saying he was a casting director for the new James Bond movie.
Yes. And they had it on surveillance, right?
Yes. They have him on surveillance. And
you.
He would go to houses that were he would get shown the house by a real estate agent. So he knew it was an empty house. Then he would have the women meet them at that house and kill them there. And that's how he got caught. It's so crazy. Yeah.
That's amazing. Can I quickly do a podcast recommendation?
Of course.
And I've talked about this podcast in its first season because it was excellent. And then I just like listened to the second season in a fucking minute because it was so good.
Yeah.
It's Someone Knows Something, which I think they're calling SKS now because no one knew anything last season.
Is that the Canadian one?
Yeah,
with the guy with the Canadian
lovely man.
Yes, love him.
Yeah, so the second season is fucking great. It's really great storytelling. He has so much empathy, which is hard to find sometimes in these stories. His name is David Riggin, and he's like helped solve murders in the past. He's a documentary filmmaker, but it's fucking heartbreaking. It's really well done. I highly recommend it. He has the most charming Canadian accent.
He's so charming. And that first season, even though there were no hard answers, it still is such a great series.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
It's also heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But it's also, it never really was solved. So it's still so interesting because you don't know if someone knows something or not.
Right. And it also shows what these detectives are up against when these homicides come in.
Definitely.
It's like, because, I do have a lot of guilt about how much shit we talk about detective work or police work, where it's such armchair quarterbacking. And we talk about that a lot, but it going through it that way, especially that one was from the 70s, that first season murder of that little boy. And it's just like, they're going on nothing. They have strands, they have basic bits of information.
And we don't think about the fact that they don't have time. It's not like they have the next 3 months to look into this case. They have, a bunch of other cases going as well and more adding up, and they don't have the time to unfortunately give to it by no fault of their own.
Right.
The fact that they haven't hired enough detectives, they don't have the money to at the department.
Yeah.
So
it turns into all that red tape stuff.
Yeah.
That's it's such an interesting, like the fact that politics affect so many of these murder cases and how much time and attention they get, which then folds in the whole thing of when sex workers are involved and they get dismissed, or when it's,
or did she disappear and did she just run away? Maybe she just ran away.
Yeah. That old kind of 70s, like, I don't want to do the paperwork. She's a runaway. The sex working. And then also just when it's a white blonde teenage cheerleader that's in high school, all of the political power goes behind it, as opposed to anybody of color, a person that's a sex worker, a person that was a drug addict.
Well, what I love about this episode or this season of Someone Knows Something is it's not a fucking perfect blonde cheerleader. She had been into drugs. She was an exotic dancer. She had a temper. She wasn't, but she still deserves to, her mother is like the most heartbreaking character you've ever heard. Odette, which I love that name. But
I got to listen to that.
Yeah. But it's not until, and then there's the thing too of like at the time of the murder, friends and family might not want to talk. They know things, they're scared, but he's looking into it like 20 years later, and he's such a empathetic guy, and he's just trying to solve it. He's not trying to, fuck with anyone.
Right.
And so they talk to him. And he's fucking great.
Yeah. He's so good.
So watch Someone Knows Something second season and first. Anyways.
It's podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm really good.
Is there anything else we wanted to?
I guess my only, the one, and I can't remember if I've said this already, but I've gotten on your recommendation so into, now I can't remember the name of it.
Which one? What's it about?
The guy, the Australian guy.
Oh, crime.
Mysterious Wonders. What's it called?
Oh, honey. Yes. Mysteries abound.
Mysteries abound.
Oh, it is just the most beautiful.
It is so beautifully presented. He, at the top of every story, he cites his sources. That's the first thing I noticed, where I'm like, yes, that's what we're doing.
But for someone who's just reading articles about mysteries throughout the internet, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's not his stories. He's doing no research.
He's reading articles, but it's performative, and it's also, he gets why certain things are interesting. I don't know. It's just, I've listened to now probably 20 of them because we've been doing so much traveling, and it's just the perfect podcast.
And it goes all over the place, like 7 interesting facts about urine. Or like, why the like mysteries about the moon, which is my favorite fucking one. It's like these things I never knew about. But then also he's the most droning, like a most comforting voice. So I fall asleep to it every fucking night.
I was falling asleep on the plane.
But then there's this one thing he does where like he'll tell the story and then have music in between the next ones. And for some reason that music is super loud.
Yeah.
So I keep waking up when the story's done. It's scary. Yeah, but I love it. Mysteries abound. Okay.
Mysteries Abound, so good. Okay. So now we do ours.
Do we go first based on our tour or do we go first? We did, sorry, I was Q&A last time, but then we did the live show after. No, wait, we did the live show before Q&A. Steven?
Yeah, is this like a reset or do we go from the tour?
Should we flip a coin?
Yeah, flip the coin, the FBI coin.
Yes.
The FBI, they gave us.
So wait, what side do you want? The FBI guys gave us these commemorative coins that are so cool looking.
Yeah.
I mean, they even brought us presents. Hot FBI agents brought us presents.
Sounds
Lovely.
like the best time.
It was.
Oh my God.
I rarely get like dumbstruck where I'm like can't figure out one good thing to say, and I just kept laughing and going, "Really, really?"
and yeah, I almost started crying, which I don't usually do. And then the next 10 people who we met, I was like, "Those guys were FBI agents."
Yeah, we just
and they were
kept
like,
saying it.
"So what?" All right. So you pick gold or blue? That's blue. That's gold. This says Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Terrorism Division, and Gang. It says no, it doesn't.
The counterterrorism gang. You do it.
The one in the middle is blue. You know what I'm saying?
And that one's gold.
Yeah. So Karen, you call it.
I'll be blue.
Can we flip a coin to see who calls it?
I'll be blue. You be gold.
Okay. Gold. Wait. You blue. I'm gold.
Oh wait, but we didn't say what we're flipping to go first or last.
Oh, you get it.
Oh yeah.
So you get.
Do
to
you
pick.
like going first or do you like going last?
I don't
guess
know.
it depends on the story.
Yeah, it does.
Do we
Mine's
flip to whoever gets to choose who goes
Elvis
first?
is suddenly really interested in what's happening.
Georgia won that. So do you want to just pick what you want to do?
I like going first.
Do it.
Is yours a real big bummer?
I mean, yes.
So is mine. Well, fuck it. I mean, it's a murder. It's like, no, mine's super lighthearted. And
Yeah,
fun.
there's nothing. It's not like an old one or whatever, but it's a good one.
Okay.
So you just do what you want.
Okay, mine's pretty short.
Okay.
And what?
I just love it. Like, we can't even do a coin flip correctly.
No, we're talking
amazing.
We like recommend these investigative journalism, like fucking like next level pieces of journalism podcasts. And then we're like, flip a coin to flip a coin. Steven, who went first?
It's just slop.
It's
so enjoyable.
It's slop in a charming wrapper.
Yes, for sure.
You know what I mean?
I mean, let's hope.
Like, what kind of candy is really gross? And then you're like, oh, it looks so good.
Remember Rocky Road, which was dark chocolate covered marshmallows and like some weird nut, maybe a walnut.
Chocolate and oh fuck, those were good. Do they not have them anymore?
Oh, I was naming it as a bad one.
Oh, I guess there's no candy. That's bad, really.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Let's talk about candy for a half an hour.
I actually, when we were leaving the airport, I fucking will talk about candy skippers. When I was leaving the airport, it was in that place where we had traveled so much. I was so tired. I was so tired when we got back on Monday. And I was supposed to do a show that night.
Right.
I fucking bailed on it because I was like, by the time the show was going to start, it would have been 2 a.m. my time. And I had been traveling all week. I was like, what
And
was
you
I
were going
thinking?
to do another podcast on the way home, weren't you?
I did.
With
We
Chris
did my
Fairbanks?
other podcast, Do You Need a Ride? I recorded one on the way home.
Honey.
Then I got home. When I laid down, all of my limbs turned to cement. But when I was leaving the airport, I walked by a C's Candy cart. And I was like, I can have C's Candy.
Yeah,
I
you
got
can.
this voice in my head that was like, it was my birthday. I don't even know what I was thinking, but I walked up. And as I walked around the cart, I was just like, well, so you're going to take a pound of candy home and eat it?
Don't they have the singles?
They have like smaller boxes.
Oh.
But I walked around the whole thing, and then I met a lady on the other side. And I said, there were little tiny boxes of things. And I go, do you have tiny boxes of nuts and chews? And she was like, oh no, only 1 pound. And I was like, okay, bye. And I walked away before anything else happens.
Why don't they give samples in there like they do at regular C's Candies?
Because it's like a weird kiosk and they don't,
Next time, their lollipops are super satisfying.
Yeah, those are good. Except for there's too many flavors I don't like of the lollipops.
Is there a butterscotch? I think I like that one.
Yep.
Or coffee.
There's coffee. There's butterscotch. I mean,
listen, when you guys come to California, that's our fucking See's candy. You just bring it to, whenever I see one, I'm like, am I going anywhere soon that I need to bring a box of See's candy?
I know. That's our Christmas thing. We're like,
that's our Hanukkah thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all we do is like, if you're going to go somewhere, you grab one of those 2-pound boxes of nuts and chews. And that's like the gift.
I like the soft centers though.
Do you?
Yeah.
This is perfect with our like dark meat, white meat, turkey thing.
We could share a chicken and a box of chocolates.
And everybody's going to be satisfied.
And what was I going to say? Yeah, we do that too. Just like a table and there's Jewish cookies and these boxes of sweet candy and everyone just sits around, talks and eats too much. And it's the best.
So good.
Shout out to arugula. That's just the best. Is it weird that I just shouted out a cookie?
I love it.
Fuck.
Shout out to arugula. Shout out. Just plain arugula?
Arugula cookies.
Oh, arugula is the lettuce.
Oh, yeah. I'm not randomly shouting out a lettuce. It wasn't that random. It was Jewish cookies, arugula.
And that's the one that you got at Michael's, the diner we went to after the show, right?
No, that was baklava.
Sorry.
Get it straight out there. Where are we?
Shout out. I'm not sure. Do you want to start?
Sure. All right.
Shout out Mary C. You really made some good candy.
Mary. Oh, I love her.
Yeah, I meant the little old lady with the glasses and the shawl.
Was that made up? I just recently found out that, what's the cookie woman? No, wait, that's not right.
Lorna Doone?
No, one of those people are made up.
Oh, probably Betty Crocker.
That's it.
Yeah.
My friend's reading a documentary on her. Is that a thing you can read? She told me that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Just created by a company.
Yeah, which I think is not fair.
It is pretty fucked up.
Okay.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace.
Every successful small business starts with someone saying, I wonder if people would actually buy this.
Squarespace gives you everything you need to find out.
From consultations to events and experiences, you can showcase your skills with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business.
With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a beautiful, professional online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business.
Get paid on time with professional invoices and online payments. Plus, streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools.
Head to squarespace.com/murder for a free trial.
And when you're ready to launch, use offer code MURDER to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Goodbye.
You know your favorite summer clothes by what actually makes it into your suitcase.
Find the outfits you'll wear all season long at Quince.
Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces you'll reach for all summer long. They're lightweight, effortless to style, and they start at just $32.
Their denim is soft and comfortable, and their organic cotton sweaters are perfect for layering when evenings get cold.
Quince's beautiful 14-karat gold jewelry adds a subtle finishing touch.
So I just went to Italy, and you bet I brought my 100% European linen scoop neck midi dress along with me in the color of floral waterfall, and I wore that thing all over Italy. It was like the perfect day to night. It just looked so pretty, and I felt like I looked sophisticated while still being comfortable.
Make your summer wardrobe feel easier.
Head to quince.com/MFM for free shipping and 365-day returns.
Go to QUINCE.com/MFM for free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/MFM.
Goodbye.
Every piece of furniture you own has a story.
Sometimes it's an heirloom, and sometimes it came with the house because it was too heavy to move.
If you're ready to start a new chapter with your home decor, there's Article.
Article makes it effortless to create a stylish, long-lasting home at an unbeatable price.
They take great care in curating their collection, focusing on pieces that stand the test of time.
We've talked about Article for a long time. There are pieces in that catalog that are so affordable that are room changers. And if you go through there and there's like a little something you don't even realize you need it until you see how they have stuff set up or what style combinations that they're doing, where they do the boho chic, there's mid-century, it's a little bit modern, it's something new. Like there's so many choices in there, and it's not going to break the bank.
As someone who's interested in tons of different styles and time periods, Article covers them all in one place. I love that.
I know I've mentioned already how much I love my entryway table, but I swear to God, because the path that it's on, I pass it 4 times a day. And I love it more every time.
Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
To claim, visit article.com/murder, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout.
That's article.com/murder for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Goodbye.
Hey, speaking of fucked up,
Yeah.
this one's a bummer.
Okay.
So on July 30th, 1986, we're in 1986.
I can see the outfit I'm wearing.
We're in an affluent community of Silver Spring, which is located in Maryland. And 19-year-old Keith Waddell Warren was found hanging from a tree 2 days after he was reported missing by his mother.
Oh.
Keith, who's an African-American, had been accepted into North Carolina Central University and was set to go in the fall, but he was currently home for the summer making money and saving it up to go away. Handsome, bright. Everyone said he was a good kid, good in school. He did have some depression issues, but in his recent past, his parents had divorced, but he had a bright future. So July 30th, 1986, a woman walking her dog found Keith in a wooded area near his family's home. His body was hanging from a small tree by his neck, and the tree was bent double with his weight. The cord was elaborately hung and anchored around the base of the tree, and it was 25 feet then to a small sapling. So it was like this elaborate kind of hanging mechanism. And then it encircled the sapling's trunk, arched through a fork. The first paramedic who arrived on the scene said that he immediately knew it was a staged hanging.
Ooh.
And so he didn't touch the body at all. He was waiting for the police to arrive.
Nice.
But the officer and detective who arrived at the scene released that paramedic. The officer stated that this was interfering with his lunch break. And they didn't cordon off the area, and the scene was trampled. And I, of course, looked up his name, and warning, immediately crime scene photos come up.
Oh.
But you can see in the background of one of them, just some fucking shirtless dude hanging out, staring at the body. So they hadn't even taken it down yet. And there was a guy, maybe not even 10 feet, just hanging out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like some hippie dude.
So this was before they understood how.
But
was it?
I don't think so.
It was just, yeah.
I think when we read about a lot of these fucked up crimes, that happens. But I don't think that was a normal procedure. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Let us know, cops from the 86.
Yeah. When did they really know that you had to lock down a crime scene and no one got to come be near it? Like a whole, what do they call that? Establish a perimeter.
I want to know as well, when did they start wearing gloves and stop smoking at the crime scene?
Yeah.
Cops, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It had to be in somewhere in the 90s, because even O.J. Simpson's crime scene was handled without gloves, which they definitely should have known by then.
Yes.
Right. Anyways. I know.
Okay.
It gets worse.
Okay.
Despite the obvious discrepancies, authorities didn't see anything wrong with the scene. And after a brief visual inspection, the county department medical examiner determined that Keith Warren had committed suicide. No autopsy was ordered. The body was sent directly to a funeral home. The detective chose it. And this was all that happened. Oh, and his body was embalmed all before his mother was even aware of his death.
What?
Yeah.
So that's simply not procedure.
Nope.
Right? It can't be.
Well, back then, you didn't need to perform an autopsy on a suicide, but it was definitely suspicious. The embalming, that kind of thing, is the parents' decision.
Yes.
And also, he wasn't taken to a morgue. He was taken to a funeral home. I think the funeral director didn't really get any information about what was going on. So he just thought he was supposed to embalm the body. But
Is Silver Spring, do you know, a smaller place? Could they use that excuse that this was small town? They're not used to.
from what I can tell, I don't know if it was just the community or what, but it was 70,000 people lived there.
Not huge.
No.
Okay.
But it was 40 minutes from Philly. It was not far from DC. So it's not rural. It's rural. How do you say that? I can never.
You're saying it right. It's just a weird word.
It's just stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
So by the 6 hours after he had been found, his mother was finally told about it. And by then he had been embalmed.
That's unacceptable.
I know.
Okay.
When the family asked for his clothing that he'd been wearing at the time, the funeral home informed them that most of it had been destroyed because of the decay of the body had ruined them. So they just got rid of the decayed body clothes.
Okay.
They were only given his jacket and a pair of brown boots. And I can say from those crime scene photos that I, of course, looked at all of them and almost started crying because I have to look at them because I'm a fucking weirdo. He wasn't decayed at all. He wasn't decaying.
Yeah.
He was found 2 days after he went missing. Don't know how long he was up there, but he looks like he had gotten there recently. Like there is nothing about him that looks like what you would expect from a hanging, which is a lot of really grotesque things happen to you, right? Mm-hmm. There was no indication that he was decayed. Anyways. Later, when his mom attempted to visit the tree to pray there because she was so fucking heartbroken, she got there and realized the tree had been cut down.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taken into evidence by the police, which his mother was like, if this is a suicide and the case was closed, which it was, why are you taking evidence?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You're taking in evidence for a suicide
and a closed
that you
case.
don't do. You're not taking evidence from the body, but you are taking the tree.
Definitely. And the tree couldn't be found, or maybe it was destroyed in a fire. I couldn't really, there's no Wikipedia about this. Mm-hmm. There's like not a lot of shit. A lot of the articles are just, the same stuff regurgitated because there's just not a ton of information out there. I couldn't believe there wasn't a Wikipedia about this.
Yeah.
So I had to do a lot of work. So Mary had doubts, but it really wasn't until she heard from a friend of Keith's that she really got, suspicious. Thank you. So Rodney Kendall was a friend of hers and said that he had seen a car full of black males looking for Keith shortly before his death. Rodney told them they hadn't seen Keith and they immediately left. And then several days later, Rodney had another odd encounter with a high school acquaintance of both of theirs named Mark Finley. And he said he seemed pretty urgent. I thought it was strange because he acted like he needed to find Keith very quickly. And I told him I didn't know where he was and he left. So all these people searching for him, weird. The Maryland County PD refused to hand over the photos taken at the crime scene to his mother because he said they would be too difficult for her to see.
So she's asking to see him and they say no.
Mm-hmm. And they said that she should have a closed casket too. So April in 1992, so this happened in 86. It wasn't until 92, which would have been her son's 25th birthday exactly. Mary found a plain manila envelope on her doorstep, anonymous. And inside there were 5 pictures, each showing a different view of Keith's hanging by his neck. So those are the photos that I saw.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so it's from the back. It's a close-up of his face. It's so heartbreaking. His face is so sweet and like young. So she saw the photos and she found glaring discrepancies, including his clothes didn't fit him that he was wearing, which made her think he was wearing someone else's clothes. Mm-hmm. There was no decomposition, which the funeral home told her there was. And also he was wearing in the photographs, remember they had given him brown boots at the funeral home? He was wearing white sneakers in the photographs.
No.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. There was a note attached to all these photos that said, "Don't worry, Mark Finley will be next." And Mark Finley was the kid who said that he had seen people asking for Keith. So the family hired private detective Joe Alarcia, I think, who, in addition to these discrepancies, also saw that, and this is the fucking point of it that always gives me chills. So Keith had on the back of his jacket leaves and debris. Meaning he didn't land on his back, meaning they started to think that he had been brought there and hoisted up. Mm-hmm. So, So the family also then hired a renowned forensic pathologist, Isidore Milakis, who exhumed Keith's body and did a toxicology report, which they never fucking did originally, which is insane.
Right.
Like, even not an autopsy, a toxicology report seems like a basic you know,
Yeah, if you're just looking for information of what happened.
how did he kill himself? What state of mind was he in at the time?
And also just that the family would want the difference between somebody who has hung themselves and somebody who has died under suspicious circumstances. To give a family a story of your son killed himself is a totally different narrative and says something about your son that then you have to live with. Whereas your son being a victim of a murder is a completely different story. It's just like,
no answers. You get no answers.
Yeah.
Well, and someone, you know, there is something too about the fact that they saw a young Black man hanging from a tree and immediately like with suicide, where it's like someone said it reminded me of the old South and hangings, and not that old. I mean, it still happened by fucking racist motherfuckers at the time.
Right.
So to see him hanging suspiciously, and I saw it, his feet are on the ground and his legs are kind of bent forward. So he's almost in like, if he were in a sitting position with his legs forward, then it got hoisted up a little. So he wasn't hanging.
Right.
And it was definitely like, you know, indicative of lynching.
Yes.
Is indicative the right word?
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, yeah.
Great.
But also it's that thing of, that's to rush all of that away.
Not to immediately at the scene say suicide.
No. Nope.
No. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I'm agreeing with you and going with what you're telling me, and it's very upsetting.
Okay. Your gall?
Yeah.
I will listen to it.
Yeah.
Gall? No.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, man. This is called Question Yourself Corner.
Right.
By Georgia. So, okay. Toxicology report analysis reveals abnormally elevated amounts of, here we go, trichloromethane,
Okay.
a solvent found in paints and lacquers and powerful chemicals that are usually found in glue and solvents. So according to Dr. Isidore Mahalakis, the levels found in Keith's body were more than enough to kill him.
And this is a body that has already been, what do you call it?
Embalmed and buried. So there was the argument that maybe they came from the embalming, maybe they came from the soil where he's buried.
Yeah.
But it was pretty.
The doctor felt sure that it was not that.
Because there weren't chemicals used in that.
Okay.
And they weren't at high enough levels that it wouldn't have been absorbed if it was in the soil.
Okay.
So, it's the argument. Is it or isn't it?
But the doctor's saying, I know what I'm looking at and I know what the situation was and I'm finding these chemicals there anyway. And that's highly suspicious.
Yeah. But the other side probably were just as sure that it wasn't true.
Well, the thing is, once you embalm a body, you can't fucking say anything for sure, which is why you don't rush to embalm a body.
I mean, that one is the biggest glaring thing that's the biggest fuck up.
Yeah. Or cover up.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Okay. Based on the high levels of this chemical in the victim's body, the doctor concluded that severe mental confusion would have resulted in impaired decision-making of routine actions. So he couldn't even decide to kill himself if he wanted to.
Okay.
Outside investigators claim that the way he had apparently hung himself was practically impossible due to the small tree and the fact that 2 ropes were used in the suicide, which I don't totally understand, because you can still, if you want to kill yourself and you need 2 ropes, you can still do.
I guess what they were saying is the way that's set up, and what it sounded like is they were using one tree against the other, like
hoist.
That it was that basically you can't do that by yourself.
So all he would have needed to hang himself was 1 rope and 1 tree, and there was nowhere for him to jump off of either.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably, they were like, well, you can hang yourself any way you want. But I feel like in the same way that when people try to drown themselves, you just can't allow yourself to do that. There's something deep in you that stands up or gets out of
there's the fight instinct inside of you.
Right. So there's that. And then he said, I do not believe that he would have the ability to hang himself. And for that matter, he would not have the ability to make the decision about hanging himself. And so he ruled that the death must be investigated as a homicide. The family appealed to the Maryland County PD and eventually the United States Attorney General Janet Reno for a criminal investigation into the death as well as the subsequent actions of the police department. All requests have been denied.
Oh.
Yeah. So here's what I wrote. So how did Keith die? And these are kind of taken all over the internet of ideas. Did he overdose on solvents that were found in his body? He was at a party with friends. Maybe they were huffing. Maybe they were doing drugs, and he overdosed, and his friends panicked and staged his death to look like a suicide to avoid police,
Right.
which would make sense of his clothes being changed because maybe he vomited all over his clothing. Maybe there was blood on that. And so that's why they changed his clothes, including his shoes. And they just wanted to make it look like a suicide. Or did someone, come from behind with a rag and that's why he had the solvents inside of him. So it wasn't his choice.
Yeah.
His backpack had some of his favorite tapes in it, which points to him maybe going to a party. That's just in my opinion. Like, when you're going out with friends, you're like, I'll bring some music. We're going to hang out.
Right. Because I will say this, in the 80s, you didn't travel with tapes. Like, you would make one mixtape maybe and bring it somewhere, but like you usually left that either at home or in your car because they were just such a pain.
Yeah. So he had his backpack, his favorite tapes in it, which makes me think it's he was going to visit someone he knew, and that I was thinking about. It's like
Party plan.
if it was a party, he would have brought a mixtape.
Yeah.
1 or 2 tapes. If it was his friends, he'd be like, I want you to hear this tape. This new one. This one's great.
Right.
Does that make any sense?
I think so.
That's off the top of my head and clearly just speculation.
We're just speculating.
Yeah. So, some people thought that he may have been, and this is on Wiki, what's it
Reddit.
called? Reddit and shit, that he may have been an informant to the police and he was found out by the local drug dealers, which might have been the guys in the car. And they were looking for him and killed him, which makes sense that the cops would cover it up because they don't want everyone to know that they caused a murder.
Yes.
Which there's actually, I keep trying to find this murder that I found out about a long time ago. There was this girl, this kind of small town. The cops found all this LSD on her and said, you're going to jail forever or you need to be our informant. And the guys, the drug dealers, she went over there wired, they found out, shot her in the fucking head.
Yeah.
But it took them a long time to find out about that. I can't find that one.
I think I remember you telling me about that one. That sounds familiar.
Sense. It's always stuck with me. It's
Yeah.
like this sweet hippie, in the 90s hippie girl.
Yeah.
Okay. So was it a hate crime? Very well could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Did he actually somehow commit suicide? I mean, that's always an option too. It's not gone.
Yeah.
So in a final disturbing twist, the one person who may have been able to answer those questions turned up dead under suspicious circumstances.
Mark Finley?
Mark Finley.
Oh, shit.
When he was one of the guys who came looking for Keith a few days before he died, and his mother had received the package that said Mark Finley's next. She told him, and he said to her that he would be by to see her soon. And he said, I need to unload. So maybe he was one of the friends at the party. Maybe he knew something. So 1 month after she received those photos and talked to him, he was dead. According to police, he died accidentally when he struck a curb on his bike and was thrown off in what was described as a freak accident. However, according to paramedics who were on the scene, his wounds were not consistent with a bicycle accident. His wounds were more consistent with being hit by a car or being hit with a baseball bat.
Oh, man.
His wounds were greater than that could have been, than that falling would have caused.
Right.
Especially in the location where it allegedly took place.
Yeah.
So his mother, Mary Cooey, died suddenly in May 25th in 2009. And she dedicated—
Keith's mother?
Yeah.
Oh.
She dedicated, her life after that, finding justice. They spent a lot of money. They had, what's it called? Awards for finding, for information.
Reward?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not awards.
Well, monetary awards, or as we know them, rewards.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awards too positive for this.
I mean,
Listen. So she died, never found any justice, but Keith's sister, her little sister, Sherry Warren, has taken up her mom's fight. She says that even if he died of an accidental overdose, she still wants the Maryland County PD to be held accountable for their actions.
Yes.
So she organizes marches. She is still looking for answers. There's still rewards out there. And she just wants answers.
Yeah. Also, just that idea, it's just that thing of like, if something procedurally is so screwed up that they're taking pictures of a dead body and then there's just kind of a dude loitering in the background, or there's no perimeter on the crime scene, or they're rushing a body to be taken to the funeral home, like all of those things, aside from the injustice to this family and to this victim, they can't do it that way ever again. So it's that idea too, that like it's just that thing of the crime procedure cannot be that screwed up. Like you just have to learn from those mistakes. Say it's all a mistake.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, it's just a series of terrible mistakes. Especially
because those people who were there at the time are probably not on the force anymore. They probably retired.
Yeah.
So it's kind of admitting, it's a thing of like, when you hear on 48 hours and all these things of like cops saying, or detectives saying, yeah, we did that wrong and we learned from it. It's so refreshing to hear because everyone makes mistakes, and we're fucking big on the 80s and 90s and before that being fucked up in terms of, procedures.
Yeah.
So
it is. And it is tough because, to be involved in crime, in stopping crime, you have to be a big, tough man who is brave and faces the worst of all society all day, every day. And so being flexible and being able to admit mistakes and all those kinds of things don't go along with that persona. And I think that's changing too. It's that thing of like, no one's looking for you to be the like Texas Ranger.
Yeah. Or do every single thing correctly.
Yeah.
People make mistakes. And it's like, one guy on the force believes it's not what it is. He's not going to fight with every other guy on there. He's a woman. He's not going to fight with his fucking boss. You get labeled a snitch and,
right. Or troublemaker or whatever it
From
is.
what we know on Law and Order and all this shit, you get put on, you get desk duty after that.
That's exactly right. It's all political. I mean, it's political where it shouldn't be, but wow, that's amazing.
Isn't it fucked? I just can't believe there's not more on that.
Yeah.
More on that.
Especially because, well, it also kind of goes to show that I feel like in this day and age, because that is such a Black man being hung and having that not fully and thoroughly looked into is such a, it is so problematic and such a, like, the kind of thing that I think people are working very hard to make sure it doesn't get swept under the rug anymore, hopefully.
And to be fair, Case File did an episode on this like in January. So it's not nobody's, episode 43, he does, his story as well. So I don't want to not give him a shout out.
Yeah.
But it's fucked up, man. Let's open that back up.
Yeah. I'd love to know the answer to that. That's crazy.
Summer's for adventures, road trips, and adding a whole lot of miles to your car.
That's why it's worth stopping at Valvoline Instant Oil Change first.
If you need an oil change, make the smart stop at Valvoline Instant Oil Change before you hit the highway.
Their trained techs can help you get road trip ready with an oil change and an 18-point maintenance check included with every oil change, checking your tire pressure, wipers, lights, and more.
That means they're checking important things before you're halfway to your aunt's house with no cell service.
And these aren't just any techs. Valvoline Instant Oil Change techs complete over 270 hours of training, so your car's in capable hands.
The best part, you can stay in your car and you're in and out in about 15 minutes.
So before your next long summer ride, pull into Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Change wisely.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent.
The future soccer stars who are already turning heads at age 14.
Making plays that end up on everyone's feed, scoring from angles that don't make sense, rewriting record books that barely had time to gather dust.
Because next doesn't wait for an invitation, and Hyundai doesn't either.
Hyundai has always moved the future within reach.
Hyundai did it by making advanced safety standard on every vehicle.
Hyundai did it by engineering EVs with ultra-fast charging capability.
And Hyundai continues doing it every day.
From robotics that change how people live to young athletes changing the game, the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here.
Next starts now.
Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
Goodbye.
Support for today's episode comes from Square.
Nobody starts a business because they love payroll.
Or invoices. Or business.
And that's why they're Square.
Square brings your payments, inventory, scheduling, staff, online orders, and reporting together in one connected system.
You can take payments in person, online, or on the go, and track sales and inventory in real time.
Instead of juggling a bunch of different apps, Square keeps everything connected behind the scenes, so you're spending less time fixing problems.
Whether you're just getting started or growing your business, Square is designed to grow with you without complicated setup, contracts, or hidden fees.
If you're starting a business or running one that deserves better tools, Square helps you sell, manage, and grow without slowing down.
Right now, you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/MFM.
That's SQUARE.com/GO/MFM.
Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today.
Goodbye.
Mine's fucked up too. Congratulations.
We did it,
matched.
Aaron.
So rare that you find a murder story that's awful. I got actually the first whiff of this that I ever heard is from the show Real Detective that we've talked about many times.
So good. On Netflix?
It is
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix? I'm not sure. It's on regular TV now. Like I have it just TiVo'd. And so I have like 10 episodes from regular TV.
Okay, then I
What
think
I like
only
to call-
season 1 is on, sorry, what you like to call?
Regular TV.
I mean, at this day and age.
It's just regular TV. But you can also, it's on demand on DirecTV.
Oh.
That's
okay.
how I watched the one I watched today.
I fucking hate on demand.
Why?
Because you can't put it in you can't list it. You have to specifically look for something and then watch it.
Yes, you have to know exactly what you're looking for.
I fucking hate that. There's a new show coming up called like New York or like the FBI in New York or some shit.
Yeah.
And I went immediately to record it and you can't. It's just, I'm going to forget it immediately.
Oh. We'll make Steven remind you.
Listen, Steven, can you change DirecTV, please?
Listen.
Give DirecTV a call.
You need to start writing some letters.
Yeah.
Okay, so Real Detective, try to watch it any way you can, find out. But the reason I loved this episode was not only because it was a Southern California serial killer that I'd never heard of, which is pretty fascinating. But on this episode, Real Detective, if you haven't watched it, basically follows the one detective who solves this crime. And that detective is there talking about themselves in the 20 years ago or whenever the thing happened.
It's like doing the storytelling. So it's not like a dramatic reenactment.
No, it's firsthand experience of what it was like for this person to catch this case, go through, be at all these crime scenes, and eventually, thankfully, solve the crime.
And there are reenactments, but they're good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they actually hire great actors because it's not just, they don't just do like reenactments that are silent. There are whole scenes that they do like scenes.
Talking and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a really great show.
Okay. So this one is the Riverside County, the name of him was the Riverside County prostitute killer originally, but I called him the Riverside County serial killer. And the detective's named Bob Creed. And he is especially as a detective, he is so empathetic and he is so lovely and kind. And the way he talks about all of these victims, the episode starts with him just kind of listing all the victims' names.
Wow.
Like he knows all of them now. So it's that kind of thing where you're just watching a person who this was his life and he took all of these deaths to heart and the fact that it was taking place in his hometown and his home territory. And it's this incredible story. So
well, that's refreshing because when you said the name of what it was before, the prostitute killer, I immediately was like, oh, well, then they're not important. So him naming them immediately makes me think that they're important.
It's not only that, but the way they present these murders on the show Real Detectives, they really play down, if not don't mention the prostitute aspect at all. So they really are just talking about, they found this victim here, they found this victim here. And when Bob Creed talks about them, he talks about, like, he starts out by saying these were women with families who loved them. And he talks about the family, they were good families and they loved their daughters. So it's because in the Murderpedia articles that I was reading, it's all just prostitute, drug user.
Because you never know the circumstance of their life. You don't, and the Killing Fields did that really well when they talked to their families and sisters. But, when I go missing, is it going to be ex-drug addicts,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was a drug addict at one point.
Yeah.
But I haven't been in 20, it's like I did a murder when we were doing the live shows, and one of them called her a prostitute, but in other places I saw as a masseuse. And it's like, did she cross some lines at her job and they called her a prostitute? It's just, there's so many nuances around it.
Well, yeah. And when you boil, like in journalism and this kind of journalism, when you boil people's lives down to their criminal records or the basic facts of their lives, what are you choosing to leave in? And what are you choosing to bring out?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are lots of people who have been addicted to drugs, whether or not they go to jail for it. There's lots of people on drugs right now that if you died right now and they took the toxicology report, not you, but like anybody in the street, any man in the street,
Steven,
that if they died and they took the toxicology report and they'd be like, well, you're filled with Wellbutrin and Adderall and did this and that.
And you smoke marijuana.
Topamax and pot and you just had 4 drinks. So are you a drug user? And so should your murder matter less because of that? And that's kind of like, I was really blown away because when I was reading these old articles, it was one story, but the way Real Detective presents this is so different and it's so modern. And then this detective on top of it, you love him and you love the work that he's doing because it's just very personal. So, all right.
Okay,
so
stop interrupting.
this is like, no, that's okay. I need you to.
Okay.
And the presentation or this, like what I've written up is a combination of me writing down things from this episode of Real Detective, but it's also, there's an article I found in Murderpedia that gave me a really good timeline and talked a lot about these victims. And it was written by a guy named David Lohr. His article was called The Riverside Prostitute Killer. I didn't get a year on it, but it does seem old because it's definitely from like the early 90s. So anyway, October 30th, 1986. So there's an area, I don't know how much you know Riverside, like the Riverside city or the county.
Vaguely, even though I'm from here.
Yeah. It's like, it's weird because it's about an hour and a half directly south of where we are right now. And it's
never
halfway.
go there.
We never go there. It's halfway between here and San Diego. It's inland. Lake Elsinore is the big, like, this guy. Yeah. That lake that's nearby it is like kind of the tourist nice area. And that's where this guy lived.
Okay.
But most of the crime scenes are in and around Riverside, the city itself.
Okay.
So there's apparently an industrial area outside of Riverside called Rubidoux, and it's like apparently smoggy and gross, and it's all factories. So on October 30th, 1986, there's a man who's collecting cans that around that area, and he comes upon the body of a woman who's stuffed into a drainage ditch.
Oof.
She's covered in blood. Her clothes are ripped to shreds and her genitals have been mutilated.
Oy.
So this man who discovers this horrible crime scene runs to the closest factory to get help. And the police identify her as 23-year-old Michelle Yvette Gutierrez. And she's from Corpus Christi, Texas. And her autopsy reveals that she suffered severe trauma to anal and vaginal areas. Multiple stab wounds were discovered on her face, chest, and buttocks. And she has ligature marks on her neck, suggesting that she'd been strangled while she was being mutilated.
Oh,
so
God.
Bad news right away. So 2 weeks later, on December 11th, the body of 24-year-old Charlotte Jean Palmer is discovered near Highway 74 in Romoland, which is 25 miles away from the Gutierrez murder scene. and her body was so badly decomposed that they couldn't figure out the cause of death. So they weren't even necessarily related.
Right.
In January of 1987, so about a month later, the naked and mutilated body of 37-year-old Linda Ann Ortega is found along a dirt road in Lake Elsinore. She had been dead for at least 3 days. They found alcohol and cocaine in her bloodstream. Investigators later discover that she worked part-time in a fast food restaurant, but she also had a rap sheet for drugs and sex working. Now the investigators are starting to see that they have 3 similar homicides where the young women are being brutally stabbed to death and strangled to death. So then 4 months later, on May 2nd, 1987, Martha Bess Young, 27-year-old Martha Bess Young, is discovered in a ravine not far from the Ortega murder site. She is fully naked in a spread eagle position. She also had a rap sheet for sex work, and high levels of drugs were found in her body. And the coroner determines that she's been dead for about 3 weeks, and she had died from a lethal dose of amphetamines while she was being strangled.
So like he injected her with amphetamines while he was strangled, or like at some point?
I don't know. Just that they're both exist. Like she has a lethal dose in her system, but the asphyxiation is what she actually died from. But she also, those things were happening like at the same time.
Got it. I was picturing it like at the exact same time.
Yes. Like he shot her up
while he's with one hand on her neck, and which probably didn't happen.
No, but the first woman who was found, Michelle Gutierrez, also had stab wounds, lethal stab wounds, but she died from being strangled. So they do think that he kills them and attacks them at the same time.
Right.
I mean, it's like all one frenzy, it seems like.
Christ.
Okay. So, so then no murders for almost 2 years. And then January 27th, 1989, the body of 37-year-old Linda Mae Ruiz, who was known as a sex worker, was discovered on the beach of Lake Elsinore, and her head was buried in the sand. And the autopsy reveals she has a high blood alcohol level, and there was sand found in her throat, and the cause of death is asphyxiation.
Wow.
Then about 6 months later, same year, the body of 28-year-old Kimberly Little is discovered in Cottonwood Canyon. Also, she is also known as a sex worker and a drug user. And her autopsy reveals the presence of alcohol and drugs. The official cause of death is listed as asphyxiation. And they finally find fibers and pubic hairs that are not hers. So they finally find some evidence that they can use, that they don't know what to compare it against, but they're saving it.
It's crazy that with that many victims, they didn't have a touch of that even.
Right. Not so far that's listed on this article.
Or that they knew how to lift at that time.
Yeah, maybe, because it was pretty early.
What year is it?
This is in the late 80s. So it started in 1987.
So they probably didn't know what could be what could be used as DNA. So even if there's some kind of saliva they wouldn't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, but also they're starting to, I think, they're starting to keep track of these. So it's like they know they can see what's standing out on these victims as they go. And so they're like, oh, okay, we have a pubic hair that's not hers. And like they're learning what to look for and what to keep as they go. Okay. So on November 11th, same year, a local resident discovers the bludgeoned and mutilated body of 36-year-old Judy Lynn Angel near Temescal Canyon Road. And this is just northwest of Lake Elsinore. And she also had a rap sheet for sex working and drugs. But they discovered defensive wounds in her hands when her autopsy is being given. She also had several blows to the face, and ultimately she died of having her cranium crushed.
Oof.
So then the next month, they find the body of 23-year-old Christina Leal in Quail Valley. Now she appears fully clothed and not having suffered any serious abuse or mutilation. She had a record for sex work and drugs. And at that crime scene, investigators found tire tracks for the first time. So they made impressions of those tire tracks.
Which I found so fascinating that they think to do that. That to me, that's like 1 in a million chance of finding that person. But
yeah,
I guess it can be used once they find somebody they think is a suspect. What kind of car did they drive at the time?
Exactly. And when it's serial killing, they know if they start finding taking imprints of tire tracks to compare to the other places, because they know that eventually there's going to be some that becomes a consistent impression that they're like, okay, this is the tire, maybe this is the car.
Interesting.
So then when she gets her autopsy, the coroner finds that she had 1 stab wound to the heart. And they didn't notice it at the beginning because she had been stripped and then redressed by the killer.
Oh, so there was no, through the shirt, there wasn't anything.
It wasn't a stab through the shirt. It was underneath. So the cops didn't see it
what a weird thing
right
to
away.
Do.
Yeah, super weird. Here's a weirder thing, and maybe the weirdest thing of this whole case.
Oh,
when they inspected the victim's genital area, they found the killer had put a light bulb up into the woman's in the woman's womb. So he shoved it all the way up, and it was unbroken. And it was also a very kind of different. It was a elongated light bulb. It was a different. Like it wasn't just a standard. It was kind of old timey looking. It wasn't a common one
for somewhere and something.
Exactly. So they now know that he's escalating and he's becoming more, deviant. He's starting to do weird shit.
That seems like such a big clue that they're almost lucky to have. Was she dead or alive when that happened? I feel like she must have been dead.
I think she must have been dead because they said it must have taken a really long time for him to be able to put it up there unbroken.
Yeah, because she would have been fighting.
Yes.
Right. Oh, for fuck's sake.
So he's then now, the escalation is part of that, them knowing he's escalating is because he's leaving things behind intentionally and he's degrading them more than average because he was, the degradation of being left, often spread eagle, often half naked, in ditches, in drainage, in like on these places where he's just saying these people are garbage with how he's leaving them. Yeah. But now he's adding to it even more in a very upsetting way. Okay, so then on the morning of January 18th, 1990, so it's actually only a month later, but it's the next year. Investigators get called to a scene east of the I-15 in Lake Elsinore. A jogger had found the half-nude body of a woman who is identified as 24-year-old sex worker Darla Jane Ferguson. She had been strangled so severely that she nearly bit off her own tongue.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either. Investigators find tire tracks at this crime scene, make impressions at this crime scene.
Amazing.
A month later, February 8th, 1990, farmers working at an orchard in Highgrove find the nude body of 35-year-old Carol Lynn Miller, also known as a sex worker and drug addict. She had gone missing a month earlier. She had multiple stab wounds to the chest, and she also had a wound near her right nipple. They found pubic hairs on this victim that they kept, and this murder is where that episode of Real Detective starts, because they basically come in and they talk about how these murders had been going on.
Okay.
But it was that kind of thing of like, they would have a murder and it would be a sex worker and they would be like, oh no. And they were like suspecting that they had a serial killer, but it wasn't until, I think this may have been, Bob Creed's, like one of his early,
when he got put on the case was that point?
No, because I think he was on this task force early, but I guess that the point of interest was when he got there, and he was looking at the crime scene, he realized that his grandfather used to own that orchard.
Whoa.
And so he's starting to go, is this guy fucking with us?
Yeah.
Like, is this guy doing this on purpose? Because there was a half-eaten grapefruit that had been peeled, half-eaten, and thrown on the victim.
What the fuck?
So there was like a lot of kind of messaging in that.
Yeah. Or just
that
kind of like
he was really freaked out about. So obviously the guy was taking his time. He was
purposely, what's the word? Antagonizing the police.
Yeah. That's where he started to go like, could this guy have known that this was my grandfather's? Like, he's like, we used to play here when I was a little kid.
Yeah. Coincidental.
So, I wish I knew exactly when they put this task force together. I don't have it, but it was like, I would say probably after the 5th or 6th body, they actually put a dedicated task force together to be like, what is going on? But they never find fingerprints at any scene. They know that the bodies have been taken to those scenes and dumped there, so they can rarely find any evidence. And they've only found tire prints twice up until this point.
And no semen?
Not that I've ever heard.
I feel like
mentioned.
They would say so.
Yes. So the guy's very careful. Okay. So, on December 21st, 1990, a janitor emptying the garbage at a factory complex on Iowa Avenue discovers the nude and carefully posed body of a young woman who turns out to be 27-year-old Susan Sternfeld, also local sex worker, drug addict. There's no mutilation on her remains. She died of strangulation. The county coroner eventually finds out. Next, 42-year-old Kathleen Leslie Milne is discovered on January 19th. A motorist is driving by and sees her body alongside a road northwest of Lake Elsinore. She had been rendered unconscious by several blows to the head and strangled, but she had been dead less than 24 hours.
Oh my God. God, I would hate to be the person who found her.
Yeah. So horrifying. So then a couple months later, April 27th, a transient stumbles upon the body of 24-year-old Cherie Michelle Pazer, a part-time maid and sex worker. She'd been left in a flower bed in a bowling alley parking lot. She'd been violated, strangled, posed, and this is awful. She had a toilet plunger protruding from her vagina. So this is a person that is intent on degrading, after murdering, degrading these victims. And there's a couple parts in this episode of Real Detective where Bob Creed is talking, and then he just stops talking and stares, and then they just cut away to something else.
Because he's just like,
because he's remembering these horrible fucking scenes that he had to come upon and process.
Well, what I noticed too is that it seems like he's getting more and more bold with where he leaves the bodies.
Yes.
Because he's not putting them in a drainage ditch where no one will see him put it there. He's putting it in a flower bed in a parking lot of a probably busy business.
At a bowling alley.
That's just so bold.
Yes. Exactly right. Because he's gotten away with it now, 12 times or however many, whatever number I'm on.
That's fucking with them.
Yeah. So now he's like, I'm smarter than the police. I can get away with this. I'm doing whatever I want.
I can't breathe.
Okay. So, now July 4th, 1991, picnickers near Railroad Canyon Road discover the remains of 37-year-old Sherry Ann Latham. Also has a rap sheet for sex work and drug use. Her hand was wrapped around nearby branches, suggesting she was still alive when the killer left her.
Oh.
Uh-huh. An autopsy later reveals that she'd been strangled, and they find cat hairs on her corpse. According to her friends, she did not own a cat. So now the investigators are thinking the killer does.
Fuck.
So they take those hairs and they put them aside.
What kind of monster murders women, but also has a cat?
I mean, it kind of goes to show how great cats are.
They love you no matter what, no matter what kind of monster you are.
Monsters love them no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, so they get their first major lead on August 15th, 1991, because a man driving a gray van picks up a sex worker near the University of California, Riverside. And she told investigators that everything was fine at first. Then he becomes angry and starts assaulting her. And she manages to jump out of his van and run down the street.
Good girl.
So he leaves, but then he stops in a nearby corner and he picks up her friend, 23-year-old Kelly Hammond. So this is what's interesting. This I'm reading from a part of that article, but in the episode of Real Detective, when they come upon this body, Bob Creed lifts up the tarp that's over her, whatever it's covering her. And he goes, I know this girl.
No.
She lives in his neighborhood.
Oh.
And he watched her and her mom walk by his house a couple times a day. So he knows her. And that's again where he's like, this guy's fucking with me.
Yeah.
This guy knows that I'm working on this case. He knows these people.
Well, I would think this is someone I know. This is someone who knows me.
Right. Well, the other thing too, it's smart of you to think. The other thing too is in this episode of Real Detective, they do not mention that either of these women are prostitutes at all.
Sex workers,
at all. Which I think is really interesting because the story comes in as this girl, the girl that got away. Her name is Allie Whitecloud, and she comes in and says, we were at a bar. This is how and I wonder if it's because that's how either she wanted it presented or that they were trying to erase the stigma of sex work.
Definitely.
But it's Allie Whitecloud comes in and says, my friend and I were at a bar and we met this guy and she wanted to go home with him. I didn't want to. He offered both of us a ride. I said, don't go with him. And she did. And so she goes to the police and gives a full description and describes the van.
Fuck yeah.
So I don't, whatever version of this is the truth or whatever, I think
it doesn't
it's interesting.
Really matter though.
It doesn't matter, but I also think it's interesting. And I like the fact that Real Detective just presented as it's a girl that almost got pulled into a van and then came and spoke for her friend to the police.
With respect.
Yeah. Yeah. So they give, they do an APB with the description of this guy and he's the creepiest it's the creepiest looking picture because he's wearing like sunglasses and
a photograph or like a drawing?
It's a drawing. It's a police, sketch. And the van he's driving is 1989 Mitsubishi van, which is one of the weirdest looking vans.
It's got that flat front. Is that the one?
Yes. Like yes. Like when you're in the front seat, wherever you park, it's like you're right there.
I totally know that one.
Yeah. And it has a weird, almost like a nautical window in the back, like a little round window.
Yeah.
Like a creepy van window.
Yeah.
So, okay. So now they have way more information about this guy than they've had since 1986. So it's a huge lead. They put out the APB. And so now the cops are looking for that van. Oh, they also say, is there anything else you can remember? And she says that when he opened up the back, she remembers seeing, a red sleeping bag. And, at most of these crime scenes, they found animal hair, which turned out to be a tan cat hair at every scene, and red nylon fibers, which they link to and match to the kind of nylon fibers that they find on sleeping bags.
What a crazy thing. I feel like there's so many people, and this is what he talks about in Someone Knows Something, where it's like, that is one detail that why would you bother mentioning that?
Yeah.
But that is actually really important to the case. So that's really interesting. I thought you were going to say that he that she said she saw a cat in his van. No.
Well, it's close. It's the other,
Right.
the other thing. But that's when they presented in the Real Detective show, like when she's giving all that information, when she says that thing about a red sleeping bag, he's just like, ding, this is the guy.
Love it.
So, they put out all that information and, so they basically from all of the, information and the victims that they've had so far, the task force knows this, that all the victims are found raped, stabbed, asphyxiated, nude, posed. They all have ligature marks on their wrists, ankles, and neck. They have one set of shoe impressions. So they know that he carries them to the scene dead and leaves them there. And that he works alone. They say that if he's married, his wife would work nights because then he can just clearly he can do whatever he wants at night and is not being questioned about it, or no one's suspicious of him. They never find fingerprints at any of the scenes, but they consistently find cat hair and they consistently find those red nylon fibers. It'd be more exciting if I had said that before the thing I just said. But anyhow, so on October 30th, 1991, they see a man is driving along Summerhill Drive, and he sees what he thinks is a mannequin.
Never a mannequin, you guys.
Never a fucking mannequin. He goes up and finds that it's the dead body of 35-year-old Delilah Zamora Wallace, mother of 5, also known sex worker and drug addict. She's also, her cause of death is asphyxiation. Then 2 days before Christmas, Eleanor Ojeda Casares' body is found near Victoria Avenue, which is just down the street from the Riverside police station. She's 39 years old. She's been strangled and her right breast is missing.
No, not the boobies. We always say not the boobies.
So she was also had a rap sheet for sex work and drugs. And the cops are positive that he placed her there close to the police station to fuck with them.
Sure.
So the very last victim is 31-year-old Catherine McDonald. She's found raped and murdered in a field by a construction worker. There they find a set of tire tracks and they find footprints that match a Pro Wing tennis shoe. They know now he's rushing, he's escalating because this is the sloppiest he's ever been.
Right.
So they process all of that. Then they go to make a next of kin, they go to tell notification for the next of kin. They go to her house. They find the front door open and the house is dark. They walk through the house, guns drawn, and they finally find Catherine's 3-year-old daughter who's been by herself since her mother disappeared the night before, hiding downstairs.
Oh.
So sad. And it's the saddest part of the whole episode.
Oh,
this little girl who was just hiding alone in a house because her mom didn't come back. Her mom took the garbage out and disappeared.
Oh, so she didn't even see anything. She's just like,
no.
Something is wrong.
Her mom walked outside and never came back inside at night.
Oh my God.
Horrifying. Okay.
So she was snatched.
Yes, she was. And which he hadn't done that before.
Right.
It was out in front of her own house. So,
oh my God.
They have, altogether, they had found 5 different types of tire prints at these crime scenes. So Bob Creed decides, he asked the guy to check, is there one type of van that could use all 5 of those types of tires? And one type of van comes back, and it's a 1989 Mitsubishi, and this type of van. It's so weird looking. So on the night of January 9th, 1992, Officer Frank Orta is patrolling University Avenue, which is where a lot of sex workers were known to walk, and he sees that exact type of van.
Fuck.
So he follows it.
Can you imagine seeing that?
Yeah, there it is.
What the fuck?
And it has expired tags. And so he pulls it over and he talks to the driver a little bit. He asks the driver to open up the back of the van. The driver says, sure, no problem. He opens it up. There's a red sleeping bag there.
Oh my
and
God.
The officer places him under arrest. Now they bring him into the station and somebody immediately starts questioning him. They don't wait for Bob Creed, who is the head of this task force for like 5 fucking years. They don't wait for him to come down to question him. Just whoever was there. I don't know exactly how it happened. So the guy they arrest immediately is like, I want a lawyer. I'm not saying anything.
Son of a cunt, man.
So Bob Creed doesn't even get to question him.
Oh.
But here's what they end up finding out. That the driver of this van is a man named Bill Suff. He was born August 20th, 1950 in Torrance, California. According to his high school classmates, he was friendly, a skillful musician, and he graduated 87th in a class of 144. So not sounds like a C- student. His brothers were very troubled. One of them was a drug addict. The other was a pedophile.
Oof.
Suff ended up living in Texas, and there in 1974, when he was 24 years old, he and his former wife were arrested and later convicted for the beating death of their 2-year-old daughter.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He was there sentenced to 70 years in prison, but he was paroled after serving 10 years.
Why? No.
His wife served 20 months, but her conviction was overturned when it was found that he was fully responsible for the beating death of a 2-year-old child.
Can you imagine not only having your child beat to death by your husband, but then getting sent to being held responsible and sent, like, she's mourning in the most painful way. And then
she goes to jail, and in jail, you hurt your own kid. If you're in jail for hurting your own kid, you're like a pedophile.
Right.
In man's jail.
Jesus.
I mean, they are like tortured. And so, yeah, she spent over a year in prison as a baby killer.
Oh, yeah.
So when Bill Suff is paroled, he goes back to Southern California. He gets out of Texas, and he then gets a job. He's now 41 years old. He gets a job as a stock clerk. And he is known to be a writer of books. He likes to drive fancy cars. He does community service work. He also likes to impersonate police officers.
Of course he does.
His neighbors described him as a friendly nerd who was always doing things to help people.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So basically now Bob Creed is scrambling to find evidence they can hold him on, because they finally have him in custody, but he's going to get out, and more women are going to die. So they look into his background. They find out that he works for Riverside County Supply. So he is a clerk at the supply company that supplies desks and chairs for the Riverside Police Department. So when they were putting together the task force and building the task force, every time they would order a desk or some chairs or a chalkboard, well, Bill Suff was the guy that would come and deliver it straight into the room where they were investigating his serial murders.
What? I bet he enjoyed that so much.
He not only enjoyed it, he knew exactly what they were doing. So the first time they knew that they had tire imprints, he changed the tires on his van.
Yeah.
Every time he would go in there, because they were constantly, at one point they said, some officers working on the case asked him if they could use his phone, and made a phone call on his phone, trying to track something down for the murders he was committing. So he was just this neutral face in the background that they saw as like, oh, that's the delivery guy, that's the clerk guy. But meanwhile, he was all eyes and ears every time he was in that room. He was looking at everything. He was memorizing all of it. He knew exactly what they were doing, and he knew who they were.
Which is weird that he then didn't get rid of the red sleeping bag, kind of.
Right. That must not have been a prominent thing like up on the board, but it's so amazing because they in Real Detective, they set it in really perfectly where he's in when like the first time they have the task force meeting, Bob Creed clears the room and then starts telling everybody blah, blah, blah. Well, Bill Suff is one of the people he asked to leave the room.
No.
So he's in there, like he's working side by side with like near the police.
Oh my God.
So Bob Creed gets a search warrant for Bill Suff's house. And when he arrives there, he's surprised to meet Bill Suff's 18-year-old wife.
Oh, God.
So this is where it all comes together. She tells the detective she works nights.
Mm-hmm.
He's standing in their kitchen. She offers to make coffee. She's like, I need coffee because I'm so tired because I was up all night. He's like, oh, you work nights. A tan cat runs through the room. He looks over and sees a pair of Pro Wing tennis shoes over in the corner where all the shoes are by the back door. So when he's looking out the window, he sees a truck bed that's filled with tires. And he's like, what's up with the tires? And she's like, oh, he's always out there changing the tires on that van. So he was changing the tires. Anytime he would see them get a tire imprint, he would change the tires on his van.
My God.
Then the kicker is he looks at the lamp that's hanging over the kitchen table.
Oh my God.
Tips it up and sees it's exactly the same kind of light bulb that was left inside his victim.
Fuck.
And he's like, we're here. So he, essentially they arrest him. They get him. He is tried and convicted for 12 counts of first degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. The jury deliberated for 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
And they came back. They gave him the death penalty. He's still on death row in San Quentin to this day. And the police believe he is responsible for 22 murders, if not more, in Riverside County.
I wonder what, he was gone for those 2 years. I wonder where he went and what happened at that time.
You mean where there was no bodies found?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there was no bodies found for 2 years?
Yeah. Because that's a long time. And usually it just goes faster and faster.
Yeah.
And Bob Creed, who I have to say is just like one of those, I feel like detectives are they're like, all the good cops become detectives.
Yeah.
It's like the ones that are on the street that are good at it and they're smart.
And they care.
Yeah. And they get promoted and they become detectives. And he so clearly was one of those people that like treated these women like his neighbors and his friends. And when he talks about going to talk to Kelly Hammond's mother, it's like a big part of that episode where he's like, we know these people. We have to tell them, we have to now change their life for the worse by us being there and being like, your daughter's dead.
Yeah.
Detective Bob Creed eventually became the head of the major crimes unit in Riverside County. And that's the Riverside serial killer.
That was fucking crazy.
Isn't that
great?
nutso?
And I had no idea. Good job, dude.
Thanks. I know. I had no idea either. Like Riverside is close by.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of that guy.
Me neither. It's so funny, like the way you find these murders now. I just put in the weirdest searches and you still don't know anything.
I know.
What's going on.
Also, I do find it fascinating, like they know almost nothing about this guy's childhood, which I would love to know because obviously it was insanely fucked up. If his 2 brothers are insanely fucked up and he is the worst of all of them, I would love to know what kind of evil and insane parents they had and what that situation was. But I really love that show for how much it really shows. It's like the side that you never get to hear, which is these detectives and like the experience that they go through and the years sometimes that they spend trying to find these killers. It's so insane. There's the one on the killer that you did, the guy.
Oh yeah.
Ben,
Mendelsohn.
No, his last name is Ben something.
Oh,
child
Bar Jonah.
Yes.
Yes.
That wasn't even what I was saying, and you knew what I was saying.
I'm so shocked that I knew that. What I like about that show too is that it gives you little glimpses into the PTSD that they fucking have, and so they're not trying to be like, this is what happened. It's like the one I did. He starts crying.
Yes. No, they suffer terribly. I mean, Jesus, like that guy it was like a child killer that had multiple victims.
Yeah.
And every story was horrible. And that one is especially great because the way he eventually finds him is he starts walking the path that those children were taking to school. And he finds Bar Jonah standing in a security guard outfit at the end of one of those alleys.
This is why you make them move their finger from the photo.
That's right.
This is why you fucking do it.
That's exactly right.
If someone knocks on your door, if you get pulled over and they're holding up a badge, you fucking call that number into the police department and make sure it's real before you.
Yeah.
I guess if you're on a rural area, if you're alone in the house.
Now you're finding reasons to say rural.
God damn it. I am. You're right. Rural.
You can say farmland.
You're in farmland.
Out in the country.
Out in the country. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Well, you get to check first. It's your right. And like, I'll tell you what, and those FBI agents the one guy flipped open his quiet friend behind him. I was like, what are you doing?
It kind of looked like they were coming for us to take us away.
A little bit. But you don't look at the ID. When someone flips a thing like that at you, you look at the badge. You look at the thing where you're like, oh, this is a real cop. And you get all caught up in the kind of like the gold badge part.
I wonder if you're allowed to say, hand me that and I want to look at it. What's your name? What's your this? What's your that?
Well, a real cop would give it to you.
Yeah.
What would they have to lose?
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, they would want you to believe they were a cop. It's why they're showing it to you.
Listen.
Hey,
be cautious instead of...
Everyone listening is like, we are.
Yeah, you've already taught us that.
We know. We did that before.
Oh my God. That's all this podcast is.
I know.
Is warning you and scaring you and giving you anxiety. And then telling you how to get rid of your anxiety.
What's a positive thing from this week?
I fucking totally knew it at some point and now I forgot it. What's yours?
I would just say that this past birthday was like one of the best birthdays I've ever had.
Aww.
Because I'm at the age now where like, I honestly don't care about birthdays. So the last couple have been super low key, if not totally doing nothing.
You didn't even we were recording that day and you didn't tell me.
I know.
I mean, I didn't remember.
Well, but why would you? I mean,
but you should have told me, but you didn't care. So you don't.
Yeah. But that was in my mind. I was like, it doesn't matter and I don't care. But it's actually not true because first of all, so many people, because of your tweet, responded to the lovely tweet you sent to me about my birthday. But there were just so many nice things, and not just people that listen to the podcast, but then like my actual friends knew and said lovely things. And it's like, when you actually give people a chance to do that if they want to, then they do. And it's really nice.
And it makes them feel good too.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it was just lovely. And we had that fun dinner in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
That was so nice. Like, what if I just threw up? For no reason. It was just like a really lovely kind of redefining birthday experience.
I love that.
Yeah, it was nice.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Way to go. Something I love or I'm happy about is when Steven babysits the cats when we go out of town. It just makes me so happy because I know they love him and they like hanging out with him. And I know this because Steven, the first couple of days of us being gone, Steven babysat them and sent me photos constantly. And I could tell they were happy and they don't run away when he comes in. And then my dad was going to stay at our place for the rest of the weekend. And so Steven left. And when my dad, who doesn't like cats, came in the door, he said, oh, Elvis came out at first and then ran away immediately. And I think he thought my dad was Steven and got excited because the guy who gives him all the cookies was there and then realized it was my dad and ran away. So thanks, Steven. It means a lot to me to have someone there who I know loves my cats.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have the best time. And like, I've always told you that like, I'll come over here. You're always like, you and Vince are always like, come do some work, hang out for a while. And then I end up just hanging out with the cats.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get anything done. It's just pictures of Elvis, good pets. Yeah.
I love it.
Have a good time.
You have my Instagram password for the cats too. So I'm like, fucking go for it. It's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. So thanks for doing that. And yes, I pay him. Don't worry. I'm not. You get paid in my cats being nice to you.
Yeah.
But you guys, thanks for listening.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. And you guys this is the best. This is the best.
It's pretty nice.
It is.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Well, you guys stay sexy.
And don't get murdered. Elvis, you want a cookie?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable.
From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra.
Each design moves with you from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold. Goodbye. You know that fantasy where you run into your ex while looking impossibly cute and wildly unbothered? Hill House makes the perfect dress for that moment. Or if you're just running errands. Hill House Home is the brand behind the viral nap dress, known for its signature smocking, ultra-flattering fit, and comfort that makes it a favorite for just about everyone. Celebrities like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, Anne Hathaway, and Mindy Kaling have all been spotted in Hill House. These dresses are the definition of versatile, perfect for running errands in the morning and stylish enough for dinner or a party that night. And it's not all they carry. They started with bedding back in 2016, and now you'll find bathrobes, pajamas, children's clothes, and maternity, all with the cutest prints. And it's so true. The hardest time picking out one nap dress because the prints are so dreamy and beautiful. But now that I have it, I'm going to wear it all day, every day. I'm going to throw on my leather jacket at night and look like a total badass. Cowboy boots or cute heels, whatever it is, this nap dress can make it look classy. You look like that classy lady you see at the airport. Hill House makes fun fashion that makes you feel good. Get 15% off your first order of $100 or more at hillhousehome.com with code MURDER15. That's MURDER15 for 15% off at hillhousehome.com. Goodbye.
If audiobooks are your thing, or if you've been meaning to listen to more of them, you should check out a podcast called Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audiobook Club, hosted by Cal Penn.
Each episode spotlights standout audiobooks on Audible across all kinds of genres: sci-fi, comedy, romance, thrillers, and more, with Cal talking to guests who help break down what makes each story worth listening to.
It's a fun, easy way to discover your next great audiobook.
Check out Earsay on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Goodbye.